My name's Saf. Good to meet you guys. I coached Shadow's old team, and he asked me to come coach you guys, so here we are. Before we get started, just real quick, you guys got any questions for me? About me, theoretical, compositional matchups, anything?
Let's counter to APEC. That's what we need to figure out.
Best counter to APAC? Well, you have three options, I would say. You either mirror them and be better than them. You play double shield and control space very, very well so that when they try to stage, they get shot and die. Or you play Winston Ana with a D.Va, not a Zarya, and play better than them with fighting and timing your engages. That one's, I think, is probably the hardest matchup, personally. Being better at APAC or playing double shield really well, I think is a little, but I'd say those are your best options.
All right.
6-man is viable on certain maps as well. I should have thrown that one out there. Close range maps, but if you try to play like 6-man on this map, you're gonna get crumpled. So don't play that. That's map specific, I think. And we'll talk a little bit about the double shield. Like I'm watching this and I've got a couple ideas for both conceptually and map specific how to adjust your double shield positioning to make these guys' lives harder. They're not quite playing APAC, but it's close enough. They've got the ball tracer, so conceptually it should be this. Anybody else?
That's good.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get started. Okay. Assume we know what comp they're on, right? How do we feel about this position that we've got here up on the high ground here? Do we like this? Do we want to stay here? What do we think?
I think we're fine till they get to the corner and then we need to drop.
Yeah. Because we do have to poke at the Pharah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay. So once we drop, what kind of positioning do we want to take? Do we all just want to sit on the corner, or what? What's the plan here?
I mean, I think Ash Mercy should back up to the I don't know what it's called, that area.
The courtyard.
Yeah.
The courtyard area. Yeah. Okay. I like that. And I need the Ash and then Mercy like back here or something. Okay. I like that. Okay. Our Reese is gonna play the corner, of course. What about our Sigma? What do you guys think?
Between?
Between? Where? Like here type area or?
No, between main and then that off angle on the right.
Between main and the off angle on the right?
Or sorry, not on the right, like right by the mega, like right there, yeah.
Yeah, like
Between
right here.
So we can check both.
Bingo. Bingo. This is what I want. So yeah, this is exactly what I want to see. And the reason why we're talking about this, when you guys clearly already know, is this is going to define our positioning for the rest of the map and the rest of any matchup we ever play against APAC. Because what's going to happen here, we're going to see in a moment, we're going to let this play, keeping that positioning in mind where we have that off angle, right? Spoiler alert, we don't get that off angle because our Sigma gets hit by the conch. Happens, right? And then watch us just get battered as we try to retreat, as we're all standing in one spot. We all end up clumped in the same spot. And now, look at this. How do we feel about this retake?
Not safe.
Not safe. We are here, and they are here.
Basically everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, this looks like Pac-Man, actually, if I inverted the colors. Yeah, this isn't good. And I won't lie to you, they're not even staging this well. We don't have a Tracer. Their Zen's fine. Their Pharah needs to be up here, and their ball needs to be with the Tracer, right? Then their staging looks really good, and there's almost no way we get back in, right? So they're not even setting this up properly, and we still don't feel good about it, right? The reason why is we are all stacked on one angle, right? If their Pharah decides not to present herself as a target, no one can shoot them. Same goes for anyone else. If they don't peek us, there's nothing we can do, right? So if we don't want to all be stacked on this angle, right? We want to take off angles. Got here, we go high ground. We can push out the hog, wrap around here. We need to be looking to take something like this. One of these. I think over here, I think this is option A, I'm going to call. I think this is going to be our best bet. Keep our Arisa Bap Hanzo on cart with a shield here, and send our Sig, Ash, Mercy, not quite this far out, but somewhere around here. And then anyone who tries to stand around here, or if the Pharah tries to play up here, The Zen tries to take an angle here. Maybe they're playing Ashe instead of Pharah, and the Ashe is over here, right? They just get destroyed. They can't stand here anymore. Instead of us being corralled to all right here, get all of this space instead, and we set up a little kill box right here. So that's how we're gonna want to take angles against these APAC comps. We're gonna want to take multiple angles, being careful to play smart positions so that you don't get run over. Like, I don't want our Sigma here, right? This isn't good. You're gonna fall over. But taking these smart angles is going to deny a lot of their staging. Their Pharah is going to feel uncomfortable. Their Hog's going to feel uncomfortable, right? If he stands here, he gets shot by Hanzo. If he goes here, he gets shot by an Ashe, right? Not fun for him. But this is the kind of angles we're going to look to take. That makes sense to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It doesn't matter who calls this. Typically, the Sig and whatever DPS is going to flank with him is best at calling that. But if anyone's vocal, that's fine. Mercy can call it. Bap can say, hey, I'll pocket a reset on cart. Can our Sig take an off angle, right? Anyone can call this. But this is the type of off angles we need to take. Is anything like this. Now, we end up winning this fight anyway. Like I said, they don't stage this very well, I don't think. Their ball and tracer are totally desynced. Their Pharah messes up and flies over the roof and gets blasted by our Ashe. And we win. They turbo feed, we hit shots. Okay, let's talk setup here. We want to take multiple angles. We talked about this, but we probably can't go back to holding this first corner, because that's an M, I promise. Who's gonna touch cart, right? We're gonna put our Hanzo back here, right? That's not good. So we probably can't take this forward positioning that we wanted to in the first fight. So instead, what do you guys think? How do we set this up so that we can have our backline kind of close to cart, but control multiple angles to make their staging difficult?
I think possibly maybe the Sigma and Bap go high ground.
High ground, okay.
And
Ash could hold the windows or like the archway.
yeah,
Windows of the archway. What, like up here?
There, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Or like stairs area.
Yeah, so okay, somewhere in here. I'll put the A right between, right? Ashe here and then Mercy back here. Okay. I like this. Cool. Okay, and then so would our Riso play like here? What do you guys think?
maybe.
Yeah, I bet she could play a little bit up, maybe.
Yeah,
Just because she has Fortify.
possibly on a like right there.
Bingo. Now we're thinking. That's exactly. And again, when they're trying to stage, when their Hog is trying to take space, when their Zen wants to find an angle, they're going to be walking into this, and that's not fun for them, right? And depending on who's alive, like who died late, who we're afraid of, right? Our Ashe Mercy could look to get a little more aggressive at the beginning and then back up, right? There's things you can do. You don't have to stand in this exact spot and stay here until everyone's dead, right? There's a little flexibility. But yeah, this is the general setup we want to go for. Control multiple angles here. If a Tracer tries to stage here to get to our BAP, they're going to run into a Sigma and a Hanzo, right? Not good for them. If they try to go this way, they're shooting an Orisa with a bat pocket. Not good for them. If they sit here, they're not doing anything, and we're okay with that, right? So, multiple angles, gonna make their staging difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So here we see the Tracer and Ball staging for free, right? Can these guys win a 3v or a 2v3 or 4 if they go here and our Ashe is playing here? They can assist here, right? And our Sigma Bap is here. Our Hanzo's probably somewhere around here. They can't be here, right? At the very least, if they do end up here and like we end up dropping, they're low on blinks and HP, right? They don't get to just walk here for free. But because we're all staging right here on LOS, they just take all of this for free.
Mm-hmm.
Easy slam, Pharah conks in, we get rolled. We could have 6 ults, and I think we still lose that. I won't lie to you. Alright, let's look at next fight. I assume Lucio's a stall pick? What's going on with the Lucio?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay.
This is default.
Okay, I won't lie. Double shield's a little hard to play here, especially because Farah has a lot of cover. If she sits here, who's gonna shoot her, right? No one, and she can just pick and choose where she wants to fight. So, if we're afraid of the Farah sitting here in cover, right? This is their staging, and this would play a little different if they were on Sombra Tracer Brig, as opposed to the Pharmacy, but this is what they're on. So if they're playing here and we're afraid of them playing here, how do we stop them from sitting here? Free.
Right side.
Go. Yep, we're gonna want to take this type of angle, right? And so let's run through the theoretical setup again. Right, where our Arisa BAP probably play somewhere around here, and our Sig and probably Ash Mercy go over here. Now the Pharah can't
We have
sit
a
here.
Kree, not an Ash.
Oh, yes we do. Okay, we've got the Kree. So let's assume we're on Brig then. We'll assume this is a Brig. For the sake of letting our hit scan be the one to take off angles. So we'll assume our Sigma, our Brig, and our Cassidy, right? Or over here. And then Arisa bat push here. Hanzo can get a little funky depending on where they're playing. You could try to go over this wall. These guys are over here. If you know that, and you know the Pharah's here, you're kind of free to go this way and take an off angle on this hog. Or you just play here. Up to you. Flexible. But now, the Zen feels uncomfortable when we push this hog off. This Pharmacy feels really uncomfortable. Ball Tracer, their staging doesn't mean a ton because we were like all corralling their team. And ideally what happens with this setup is their Ball Tracer like, hey guys, we're ready to go. Guys? And their entire team is just dead because of this setup we have here. Right? Like if we look at this and imagine you're the Pharah here with a Cassidy Sigma looking at you from right here. It's not very comfortable. So again, those multiple angles. Again, they... Ooh, nice flash.
And there goes the Pharaoh.
Yeah, so again, I won't lie to you. They're not playing this too well, I don't think. I think their ball was a little eager. Just trying to run it down like this. I think it's a little eager. Their Pharah is super passive, not taking an angle like here. That's really hard to contest. I don't know what their hog's doing. So I don't think they're playing this too well. And so because we're stacked on one angle and they're not punishing that, they're not controlling space properly, we do get away with it, right? It's kind of that group mentality. The apes together strong, if you will. Also, if you guys have any questions at any point, feel free to interrupt me.
Okay.
I'm not here to boost my ego by sounding smart. I'm here to help you guys, so whatever helps you guys, let me know.
Ego's big enough, don't need to.
Bingo. This is better by them. This is better by them. Alright, so again, we're on one angle. Therefore, kind of gets to walk up a little bit for free. I mean, I know we're shooting at her. Like, she kind of gets to walk up for free, or we hit some incredible shots. But now, she just gets to do this. Who's going to stop her from doing that?
Nobody.
Nobody, right? Absolutely nobody. But if we have an angle here and an angle here, and, you know, a little stronger there. By the way, that's kind of a solo play. Oh, nice shield. Almost gets her. There's no ball slam. I didn't see the Tracer there.
Tracer got scared. I flashed her and she ran.
Bingo, right? So like we're even winning like those little micro things. We're beating out, we're forcing out their Tracer. You know, we're poking out their ball as he's staging, and then they still get to make plays like that and win, just because of our positioning's a little off.
That's just a miscommunication. We could have had someone else make it, but yeah.
Yeah, kind of a tragedy. If we had more time, and we'll run this one more time, and then done talking about it. If we can do something like this, Sigma Arisa, right, and then depending on what cooldowns they use, if they use Conk and we feel comfortable like walking a little further, right, we can maybe even take a deeper angle here. A lot of things we can do, but again, off angles. And I know we didn't have time for that, but if we had time. Okay, we swap off the Lucio now, right? Right? Okay, tragedy.
Nope. That's a habit we're trying to get him to fix.
Is he a Lucio main?
Yes, sir.
We had what, a 5-hour discussion with him about Brig?
We did. We talked until like 4 a.m. trying to get him to figure out why Brig is good, and we succeeded. He just hasn't practiced it yet.
I
Nice.
still don't think I've caught up on my sleep from that.
Wait, when did you discuss it? Last night?
No,
A
it
few
was like
days
a couple
ago.
nights ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
before the
That's
game started.
that's a tragedy. If he wants help brig coaching, send him my way. And I can help him out with that.
Will do. He's supposed to be here any minute now.
Oh, what happens to our Arisa? That should not be happening.
Oh yeah, I think I missed my Immor there. Yeah, I kind of have a habit of not timing my Immor when I see my teammates low.
Okay.
I guess for more explanation, I somehow have this thing in my head. I want to use my abilities as effective and valuable as possible.
Agreed.
So, whatchamacallit? I in a way I try to time it, but it's always late. It's always like they die and then the lamp goes up.
Okay. I want to change your thinking about lamp just a little bit.
Mhm.
Don't think lamp so much as we'll compare it to res. It's less like res where it's like, oh, like my teammate's like 1 HP or they die, and then that really big cooldown brings them back, right? Instead, I want you to think about it more like a Zarya bubble, right? If you're playing
Okay.
Rein Zarya, you're not going to wait till your Rein is 50 HP to bubble them, right? You're
Yeah.
going to bubble them a lot sooner. And obviously, Lamp's a longer cooldown, so instead of bubbling them right before their armor breaks, you're going to bubble them a little later. But you're going to use it to enable your teammates' positioning rather than to save their life. And that I think
Okay.
that mindset change should help a little bit with that late lamp timing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. All right.
All right. Okay. I have 3 questions for the team. I'm gonna write these down because otherwise I'm gonna lose track. 1. What's our win con this fight? Actually, that's question 2. There we go. Thinking on our feet. 1. I'll explain that more in a minute. And off angles. Okay, number 1. What's the rush to touch the cart? Are we in a hurry here?
Not really.
Yeah.
We still have a couple seconds till it hits the corner. That's our last spot.
Right. Okay. Plenty of time, right? So let's make sure our setup is good. Because if we rush this and stop the cart sooner, and then we all die and lose the fight, the cart's going to push further than if we took our time, set up properly, gave them some space on the cart, and then won the fight, right? So don't rush this. Okay. Number 2, what's our win con going into this fight?
I
window
guess
or bongo?
yeah.
Or actually, Flux
Blue.
Dragon.
Cool.
Any one of those?
I like any of those. I actually don't think it matters that much. Especially when they don't have like EMP that would cancel most of those. I don't think it matters too much as long as we know and we set it up, right? So let's say it's our bongo. Our Arisa is now like our most valuable character. If we lose our Lucio or our Sigma or our BAP, it doesn't matter as much if we lost our win con, right? So keep that in mind. If we're playing for our bongo here, our Arisa needs to take time setting up and make sure we get that. And then question number 3, off angles, right? Oh, I did want to watch this from our Arisa's POV.
Yeah, she kind of gets
Gabonked.
He put himself in a bad spot.
displaced.
Yeah. I won't lie. So yeah, this is less of. Yeah, we'll talk setup. This is back to question 1, right? What's the rush here? Our Arisa's up here taking space, right? This would be great if it was timed with like a push through here, right? If we're like pushing through here or even here, this would look great. But our Hanzo's like still back here, right? And so we're up here trying to take space, pushing into their ults while one of our potential win cons, Influx Dragon, is still walking out of spawn, right? Take our time here. We need to make sure we communicate going into the fight, right? So when we're back in spawn, before the fight's even starting, like, okay, I can bongo main. Can our Sig take an off angle somewhere and chat and be like, okay, yeah, I like over here because I do, right? Map dependent, whatever. I want to go over here. And it's like, okay, we can go over here. And then if our Brig died late, our Brig can be like, hold on, like I died late, wait for me. And it's like, okay, are we ready? 3, 2, 1, go. And then our Arisa walks here, and then our Sigma swings out here, and we drop the bongo, and then this guy should evaporate in theory, right? Does that make
Mhm.
sense? Kind of the comms I want to hear before we go into the fight.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want our Hanzo being like, "Yo, why are we dying? I'm still walking out of spawn." I want to hear, "Hey guys, I'm still walking out of spawn. Don't die to begin with," right?
Okay. With I guess Sigma taking the off angle, I'm guessing which DPS would go with the Sigma?
Either or.
Mm.
Like both of them or just like the Hanzo?
So it depends. There's a couple things to keep in mind. The first is, do you have a Mercy? The answer is yes. Whoever the Mercy is pocketing should generally, but not always, go with the Sigma. I would default to that. If you have a Mercy pocketed DPS, send them with the Sigma.
Mhm.
The second thing to keep in mind is, what are they running and how greedy can you get? Hanzo can get
Mhm.
a little greedier with off angles because of sonar, right? So let's say you send your Sigma Ash over here. I'm gonna go top down actually for this, right? Yeah, this looks fine, right? So we send our Sigma, our Ash, and our Mercy. I know we don't have an Ash or a Mercy, but bear with me, right? And then we send our Orisa here, and then our Baps here, right? Our
Mhm.
Hanzo, hypothetically, can actually play over here completely alone because he has Leap and Sonar. So he can Sonar here, and if he sees there's no Tracer, no Sombra, Diva's over here, that's his greatest threat, honestly, is the Diva. Who's going to pressure our Hanzo over here? Not the Tracer. Tracer's distracted, right? So the Hanzo could walk up here, pop a couple shots, and then leap away. Ash can't do that. Because Ash might walk around this corner and get blown up by a Diva, right? So
Mhm.
that doesn't work. So our Hanzo could play over here. Doesn't have to play main. So that's the thing to keep in mind is, do we have a Mercy pocket, and how aggressive can our other DPS get, right? Widowmaker's another great example, not on this map, but Widow could play a really obscure off angle, something like this, instead of playing over here with our Sigma. So that's usually what to keep in mind. Hanzo normally won't go over here, but if you have Dragon, this is a really great looking Dragon, right? And if you had like a Brig instead of a Mercy, then set up like that. But normally, Mercy would go with Sigma. Hanzo normally would play elsewhere just because of this flexibility he has. But it doesn't matter too much. As long as there's someone standing behind the Sig shield to shoot things, you're okay. That make sense?
Yes.
That's a tragedy. This is a really good spot for Diva bombs. Yeah, imagine with me for a second. Our Reese is here, our Sig is over here, and our Bap is playing like here. Now who's dying to that Diva bomb, right?
Mhm.
No one. Yeah. Take time staging. Our staging will deny their staging. I think that's probably the easiest way to sum this up overall, is if we set ourselves up properly, it'll make it hard for them to set themselves up. Take your time with it. Cool. Alright. So when this VOD happened, Fives didn't really play Brig, so we played the Lucio Mercy. That's why we're doing this, yeah?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Quick note, I think Mercy Ana is worlds better than Mercy Zen in every situation. I don't think I'd play Mercy Zen in the current game balance ever. Unless you were bored and off-rolling on the other team. That's probably the only time.
I got back. Sorry, my headset died.
Heard that one before.
This happened mid scrim.
What is?
My headset dying.
His headset
Oh.
dying.
I don't
Wait,
know
how did I
exactly.
kill the Mercy? The frick? Did I hack her?
Find out, shall we?
I'm pretty sure you hacked her.
Oh, she was
Okay.
low.
No,
I
I
was
just
say, yeah,
emailed
I was
her.
looking at her too.
Ooh, that slam.
It was a good
Oh.
slam and we all just chased.
Nice. Well done. Okay. Why does that Mercy die, besides hitting our shots? What do you guys notice that we've talked about this whole time?
Positioning, she's way too close and not using surrounding buildings as cover.
Okay. What do you notice about our positioning?
More safe? Or
Off angles.
oh, yeah.
this kill happens because the Mercy's here, right? Hold on. Run through this, right? So the Mercy's here. She gets slammed, so she flies over here and then gets shot by a ball. And it's like, oh, I don't like it here either. And so she flies back over here and gets shot. We place her in a no-win situation. You're right, she is playing too far forward. She's not using cover properly, and we punish that with our multiple angles, right? If there was no one over here, or no one over here, right, this Mercy would be like, oh, let me fly over here and I'm safe, or let me stay here and I'm safe, either or. But because we're on both angles, there's nowhere for her to go, and she dies, right? That's what these off angles look like. It'll look like that in double shield. It'll look like that in his ball mirror. Like I said, playing ball mirror just better, right? Core here, ball tracers, stage over here, somewhere maybe up here, whatever, right? But those multiple angles are gonna punish that kind of positioning. Small side note: if they are on Ana instead of Zen, that Mercy lives. Assuming they hit their shots. Couple quick scopes, Mercy fine.
So with this composition as well, who I'm guessing like it's either the Lucio or if we had a Brig, they'll
It's the
stay
Diva.
on card. Oh, Diva?
Diva.
Okay.
Yeah, Diva typically. It varies a little bit. Sometimes Tracer will, because you'll need your Diva to escort your Brig Zen on occasion. And in this instance, I was gonna say Ana could push cart, but I take that back actually. I'd like to see our Ana like up here probably. Maybe here, although this feels a tad aggressive. Definitely not over here. I was gonna say over there, but no. Somewhere over here, not on cart. Right. So yeah, you'll have your Diva here. Sometimes Tracer, but typically Diva. Okay. Once again, staging. We want as many angles as possible, and them to have as few angles as possible. So our Pharah should be sitting somewhere up here. This looks good. I'm not even going to comment on Lucio positioning. He's Lucio. Go wherever you want. I personally like to see like Ball Tracer, or in this case Ball Sombra, stage somewhere this side. Rolling through here is kind of long and obvious. Up here is a little better. Or you can come back main if you choose, but I kind of like staging over here. And your Tracer or Sombra or both could play like over here, and then a ball slam from high ground. Get something that looks like this, right? Like Fire Rocket, Tracer comes from here, let's ball slam, right? That'd look really good. And how does that happen? Friendly reminder: ball's over here, Tracer's over here, Fire's over here. Angles, right? Something like that. Denying them a lot of space, making it really hard for them to walk anywhere. I do want to go back and look at how our Sombra dies.
The ball catches me out.
Yeah. Ball Sombra are staging over here to begin with, and then they're like, oh hey look, there's the Sombra, and they catch you. Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this is their staging. If our ball's over here, I don't think this happens. I won't lie. I think their Sombra probably gets shot before the hack goes off, and then our Sombra's chilling. Nice poof.
Nerf this. All systems checked out.
I kind of want to give feedback for scrappy fights a little bit. This is really scrappy, and we have a Lucio. So this is kind of hard. It's a really good hack.
Routing pellets forward area. Nerf this.
Got any thoughts for me here, Shadow?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was still winnable. It was not. Yeah.
I think it might be winnable. If our Sombra gets this Pharah, and then a bomb is somewhere like here, maybe?
Yeah. I think I was trying to do it to remech, wasn't I?
I don't think so. I'm looking at your HP,
No.
you were like 500 HP.
I might have been. Yeah, I went for the Pharah.
Nerf
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I saw her boost. I didn't think she had enough time to get to the building.
All systems.
You can cuss out of it, or
Nerf this.
weird?
No, they're hacked.
I think bomb was just late is all.
Yeah.
All systems checked out. Time to raise my APM.
Helden sterben nicht.
Far as kind of our win con, aside from ults, of course. We have EMP here. This is still winnable.
Apagando las luces.
Nice. Where's the Sig?
Apagando las luces.
That's a tragedy.
Guy?
I'm calling that a W. Other than our ball going off the map.
How
Oh,
did
I
he
heard he slipped.
Happens.
He
Happens.
fell on the banana peel. Oh no.
I think that's overall a pretty good trade from us. Aside from the fact that we're on Lucio, which means they have Transcendence while we have Beat. Aside from that, I think that ult trading's decent. And again, if we had our Sombra was ahead in ult charge at the beginning, but we staged pretty poorly. Again, kind of all stacked here. Our Pharah was here, which is pretty good. Like ball can stage over here with our Sombra.
I learned that.
Or we could look for a hard engage with our Sombra like over here and ball over here, like we talked about. But considering their spawn advantage, I think that was overall pretty good. Okay, considering the hack on our ball, I kind of like this beat.
Justice.
Oh, that's what he meant by he slipped through the cracks.
Dude, I was
Wait.
like,
He went right in that little crack between the boat and the wall.
That poor man.
Oh my god.
I
He
was
can
so confused
fit?
when he said that.
Oh my god, like a fucking glove.
I've never
even
seen.
know.
I've never seen that before.
Helden sterben nicht.
That's funny. Okay, we talked a lot about staging, taking angles, etc. Let's look at our engage instead. This guy here, I'm not paying attention to who's actually
No,
here.
it's not.
Okay.
No.
Okay, then I'll direct this towards the entire team instead. How do I feel about this engage? Our ball's timing specifically.
Too early.
Yeah, our Pharah could be in a better spot. So
Yep.
Yeah, possibly at the archways below. Not below, but like, you know, in there.
First of all, we should probably wait for a hack
Agreed.
and not go in after. Especially because they have the trends going on, so ball's gonna get absolutely zero value and just feed.
Agreed.
So, and I guess in that question, then who should we hack? What was the primary target for hacking?
In
Sigma?
all honesty, I would probably hack ball, Sig, or Pharah.
I
Okay.
think maybe Sigma. Maybe.
I think a lot of those are good. Pharah on the ground, not good for them, right? Hack Pharah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Sig has a lot of resources, hacking him's good. Hack Ball, easy punish, also they can't engage. And I think Zen would also be a great hack target because we know he has Transcendence, right? So any of
Yeah.
those. So Ball, Sig, Pharah, really good neutral hacks. If Sig had ult or Ball had ult, definitely try to hack them if you can. And then Zen has ult as well, so any of those would be good. Yeah, or if their Mercy's in a terrible position and it's easy collapse, that'd work too. Yeah, probably one of those four. I want to ask you guys something. So hindsight's 2020. It's really easy for me to sit here and go like, oh wow, we messed this up. Like, our far is too far back. You know, how'd that happen? How do we prevent this from happening in the future?
better comms.
Okay, what specifically?
Countdowns, win cons in the first place, stuff like that. Just
Bingo.
general, yeah, setup comms. Like our between fight comms are very messy. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea how to really fix that or where to begin.
Well, it'll just take time.
Mm-hmm.
These are not in order, but we're leaving them. Okay, number 1, win cons. That's part of your team fight planning, right? This does not have to be in depth to begin with. There is like a whole process for it. I've worked with a lot of people on how to structure your team fight plans. But at the beginning, as you're trying to build it up, start with naming an ultimate or an engage. Like, I would like to nano Winston here. I would like to beat rush, right? You don't even have to say where, like when, just, I want to beat rush. And everyone's like, okay, beat rush, right? That's better than, hey guys, we have a lot of ults, right? You see the difference there? So start with just naming an ultimate and build from there. The second thing is countdowns. Actually, we're going to flip these. On.
So who will do the prep planning and
Anyone.
Oh,
Ideally,
this guy typically.
in contenders and Overwatch League, everyone does it. You know?
okay.
The Sombra might be like, oh, hey guys, I want an EMP here. And the next fight, the ball might be like, oh, I really want a Mines here. I like having Mines here. And the next fight, maybe Zen's like, oh, I want to play aggressive here because I have Transcendence and can live. And they don't have EMP. I'm not worried about it, right? So, anyone. If you have your ult and you're like, hey guys, can we beat rush? Or can we do XYZ, right? Anyone can say that. But having a designated planner like Sky, that's great. Especially at the beginning, having someone who can consistently say, I want to use this ult, this fight, really good. Yeah, anyone can do it. If you have an ult, say it. But if you want to put that responsibility on Sky to begin with, I think that's really good as well. Okay.
He is not the smartest man.
In that case, like anyone can do it. Like I said, anyone can say, I have this ult and I would like to use it, right? So anyone can call that. The second thing is ready ? Right? Saying like, are we ready? Can we go? Right? When we saw on defense on point C, when our Riso just kind of walked forward and died, and our Hanzo was kind of still in spawn, hey, are we ready to walk? Our Hanzo would be like, no, what are you talking about? And we'd be like, oh, okay. Our Risa doesn't die while the team's not ready, right? So asking ready is really good. That clutters comms a lot, but it will help you guys get on the same page faster than I think anything else. So if we're struggling to be on the same page, like our ball is slamming and Far is way back here, saying, hey guys, are we ready? Will delay our engages, but will make our setups better. And I think setups are more important than engages to begin with, right? So setup first, and then once we get kind of on the same page with that, get a little bit of synergy, then we can drop that. That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, considering I've been with the team for one scrim in a match, I think
Dude,
that
3
people just take.
scrims.
Oh yeah, actually I lost count. Anyways, very short time. I think it just will take time. Yeah.
Yep, it will. And then asking like, hey, are we ready? That'll decrease that amount of time, I think, a little bit. And then countdowns. Countdowns are really good. Don't drop countdowns. Like, okay, slamming 3, 2, 1. Or it can be like. By the way, countdowns you don't have to be seconds. It's numbers, not seconds, right? It can be slamming 3, 2, 1. It's like, okay, we're going. Like, I guess we're going. Or it can be like slamming 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going. Right? You know, maybe you're like trying to make sure their brig's not looking at you, and so, like you start your countdown and it's slow, and it's like, okay, I see an opening and I'm going, right? Or sometimes like I play flex support and I'll be looking to nano my Winston, and I'll be like, okay, nano 3, okay, now, and I'm like, I'm getting pressured, I have to nano you now so I can turn away. So you can cut your countdown shorts, you can speed them up, slow them down, whatever you need to do. Yeah, countdowns. So for going into this fight, we might say like, okay, I want to look for barrage this fight, and Shad would be like, okay, I can DM, and Sky would be like, okay, I can slam, right? And you kind of think to yourself a little, or comment out loud, and then we'll be like, okay, and our Farah ball gets up here and is like, hey, are we ready? And Farah's like, no, we're not. Like, okay, all right, I'm ready now. 3, 2, 1. That's what that would look like. Okay, all put together. Does that make sense to everybody?
Looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Okay, yeah, and this will apply for every comp, you know? I have Shatter. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. I have this ult. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. I have this ult. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, right? That's what it's gonna look like every time.
Justice reigns from above. Helden sterben nicht.
Okay, force mines. I like that. And get out. Nice shots by their Pharah. Better res.
Apagando las luces.
Yeah, their fair was really good.
Oh, I got more information on their Farah. It is actually whatever that guy's name is.
Emperor?
Yeah, it is actually him, and he's a 3.8, 3.9 player,
Yeah, I know.
not a 3.1 player.
Oh, that's funny.
What do you guys think about their EMP engage here? Good, bad?
I
Pretty
think,
bad. There's no one to follow up.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Ball, but he's not close enough either.
I was gonna
No,
say,
he's
he's not.
not.
He's in a terrible spot. I can see it. Yep.
That's a tragedy, the timing on this. Okay, let's assume they didn't just EMP us. In this frame, they did not use EMP, because as far as our Sombra is concerned, we're trying to go first, right? That's what this is. We're trying to EMP engage before they do, right? So pretend they didn't EMP, their Sombra's off in Narnia somewhere holding. How do we feel about our EMP engage?
Also kind of bad
Okay, why?
because we're not all there. Only the ball is
That one's set
per
up for it.
se ready,
Mhm.
kind of.
No, not even the ball's ready.
Yep, I agree. I don't even think our ball's ready. I think a countdown gets our ball a little further, right? And then the slam is coming sooner. Not even to here, actually. Probably more like here, right? He gets a lot closer. Our Diva could probably be up here or through here. Take your pick. And then Farah could probably be looking to come around this high ground. And by the way, one thing to note, I don't want to keep harping on about this. This is the last time I'll mention it. But if we have an Ana here, our Diva literally just walks up main with no care. Other than getting 5 orb because Zen is balanced, right? We get healing here. Our Diva's like, okay, I'll just walk for free. So do keep that in mind. But yeah, we can be a lot closer, right? Rockets can already be coming in. Our Diva can be within booster range. Our Ball can be looking to slam. Instead, we're back here, and Ball is hiding around a corner, right? This is an EMP expecting follow-up, not an EMP engage.
Apagando las luces.
Like, hey guys, I EMP'd. Can we go kill them? Not, hey guys, we're killing them with EMP. We make it work, though. Ours was definitely a lot better than theirs.
But no one to follow up.
Oh, nice hack. Catch their Zen. I was gonna say, we should win this by default. What did they do? They all sat on one angle. All of them are on the stairs or below them. Our Farah's up here. Our Sombra's over here, right? Our Ball's over here. Space that we control, sorry for the inverted colors, is this, while they're over here in yellow, right? So this is really good by us, and really bad by them. Force Trank. I don't think we need to slam there. They have Transcendence. The goal is live. We should all be calling, just live, just live, just live, right? Slamming there would have been great.
Rains from above.
Really nice ebb and flow there. Their Transcendence ends. We push back in with
Helden sterben.
our Barrage.
Justice. Just
I think we auto-win this fight if we didn't slam earlier.
Yeah, we
I think
probably
that's
could have
actually it.
maybe killed the Mercy if we had a slam.
Zen's definitely dead. Mercy's
Yeah.
probably dead. I also think our beat was poorly timed, but oh, nice shot by their Farah. That's how that happened. And then who else dies? Our Ball does.
Helden sterben nicht. Apagando las luces.
Yeah, I think we auto win if we're screaming live, live, live.
Rains from above.
I think we just auto win. Okay, let's talk about this EMP here.
Apagando las.
Good EMP, bad EMP.
I think it could have been good.
Okay.
Or I think it is good, but we just kind of died. I think I think I could have turned the team. I think I could have turned the team fight around.
I have no mech either. These two are in spawn. This guy has no mech. Right? Who's gonna kill this 500 HP ball? Our Mercy? Or our Lucio?
No.
Their spawn's right here. Ours isn't even on the screen. Good EMP, bad EMP.
Bad.
Okay. So this game sucks because, and I know it sucks, because for pretty much every map, I make comparisons to 2CP. So that's how you know this game sucks, is when everything plays like 2CP. But what you need to understand here is, when we are here, they are spawning practically on the payload, just like 2CP. Our spawn is in Narnia, just like 2CP. So how do we win this? Structured ults in structured team fights. The same way it does in 2CP, where you pop 6 ults and it's like, whew, finally won. That's the same way you cap here, right? Is this little bit, it's like, oh, we're so close, we can win this. These 3 are probably not gonna kill 6 while their spawn is on the cart, right? So instead we save this EMP, they use theirs, that's great, and then we come back and as 6. And that should be our thought process. What I've always told my teams is don't try to clutch 2CP. Don't do it. It happens sometimes, but don't try to clutch 2CP. If you see a fat grab, a fat EMP, don't do it. Save it for next fight. I think I've only seen one honest to goodness 2CP clutch where the other team did not blatantly hard throw. Yeah, I think it was literally just the one.
Justice reigns from above.
Same thing applies here, right? Where you could EMP 6 there,
60 seconds remaining.
or if there's even 3 or 4 alive and EMP all of them, I think we still lose. That's not what I want.
Helden sterben nicht.
Okay, nice hack. Really well played.
I think my biggest problem with just playing Sombra is I haven't played her long enough to get the good game sense for the EMPs, but other than that, I think I understand Sombra.
That's good. Yeah, I've liked your neutral hacks quite a bit. I think they've looked really good. Let's talk about their recontest here. Okay, Moira staggered. I
I
think this,
request you do the Junkertown map next, because I do have to leave halfway through this.
I think we'll only have time for this one map today, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But I'll talk to Shadow. We'll see if I come back another time. Fun. Also, side note, as far as the best player I've ever seen, that's like 5 direct mid-air kills.
Thank you.
Farah was really good.
This guy is... I'm like, dude, Farah, you can't be dying there. And then I see this, and I'm like, never mind. That's like you're playing Tracer, and the enemy Widow just like 360s you. And it's like, okay. And just mid-air to our Mercy there, too.
No diss to Potato, but he's 3-1 going against a 3-8 fair one trick.
Reigns from above.
The best 3-8 fair I've ever seen. That guy's incredible. Okay,
Gave me Mac and Liz PTSD.
okay. So... Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna say 2 things. 2 things lost us this map. Well, lost us this offense. We already talked about defense. 2 things lost us this offense. The first... Well, we'll say 3 things. When our Sombra got caught out over here, right? When we potentially could have played for EMP, I think that's probably the first thing. If that didn't happen, we get a cleaner team fight, we win, we have a massive time bank, we definitely cap here, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is when we EMP just barely over here when we had 3 alive. I think that's probably the second thing. And the third thing is I said I wouldn't mention this again. I'm going to. If we have an Ana instead of a Lucio, our Pharah lives there, right? There was no one else taking damage because our Pharah is taking early contact here, right? What else is our Ana looking at besides our Pharah? And they go, oh, our Pharah gets low, and we heal them. And it doesn't matter that their Pharah is hitting incredible shots because our comp is just better than theirs. Our Ana's healing instead of playing Lucio, right?
Yeah,
And our Pharah is fine there. They don't walk for free. We have EMP, like we talked about earlier, and we just win. So I'd say those are probably the biggest issues here in our offense.
I'm just a little bit confused how we just let the Mercy Lucio just exist as our comp for the entire map. It felt like
As ours or theirs?
ours.
A good question.
Yeah, I think
Like, in honesty, we should have caught that. Like, everyone knows Mercy Lucio is not great.
it's viable on Koth maps, certain Koth maps where you're the better team, or don't play Zen on a brig. If your supports can't play those characters, then you lose you. But even then, I don't think it's great. So yeah, I think if we have an Ana here, and then we talked a lot about staging. I know I mentioned like 2 of the 3 things were were about our Sombra. I'm not singling you out. The staging part, especially on the defense, where we gave up a 3-minute time bank on Rialto. That's on the whole team and the comm structure as well. We botched an engage earlier. I remember when our ball slipped through right here. We botched that engage. That's on the whole team. If there's a botched engage, it's not someone getting caught out. It's not a misused ult. If there's a botched engage, it's on the entire team. Doesn't matter who called it. If it was a bad call, someone should have said something, right? Or if there's no call, should have said something. So yeah, staging off angles, and Shadow. I'll send you a screenshot of this here, in a moment. Let's see. Win cons. I'll get the order right this time. Ready? And a countdown. Right? This is how we're gonna look at the team fight plan, right? It's like, okay, I want to use Barrage this fight. Okay, are we ready? No, we're not. Okay, waiting. Now are we ready? Yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Right? This is what it's gonna need to look like all the time. All right. And don't play Lucio Mercy. All right. Any questions about this map, comp matchups, anything else in general? I've got like 5 minutes or something.
Did you watch all the maps already?
No, I did not. I would have
Okay.
loved to, but I'm a little busy.
Oh, no worries.
What would you say is the best way to counter Hog Ball?
To counter Hog Ball? Okay.
They played it for 3 maps and it irritates us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a question before I give you the answer. Were you losing to the Hog because he would hook someone and they would die and then you would lose?
Nope.
No? Okay, good. I was going to talk about positioning in that case. Good. Okay, glad to hear that. Okay, let's compare Hog to what you could play instead. You can play Hog, or you can play D.Va, or you can play Sigma. What do D.Va and Sigma have that Hog doesn't?
Defense.
Defense, damage mitigation, shield, grasp, defense matrix, right? Armor in D.Va's case, shield regen, right? Overshield as well in Sigma's case with the grasp, right? They will take damage, and they will use it against you, right? Your Ashe is going to feel like they're AFK while they're getting suffocated by DM, and by a shield, and by grasp, right? And it's going to feel terrible. Hog, on the other hand, is going to get shot in the head, and be like, ow, this hurts, and die, right? The answer, play for poke. Play Pharah, you can play Ashe, you can play Hanzo, but play, Mercy on, well, not necessarily Mercy. You can play 2 things. So you play Ball, and then your D.Va Sig, whichever you prefer. And then play, I prefer Tracer, Sombra works as well. And then you play either Brig Zen or Mercy Ana, take your pick, but don't mix those. One of those 2 combos. And then get a range DPS in there. You can play Pharah, you can play Ashe, you can play Hanzo. I think Ashe Brig Zen is really, really good. Hog walks, he walks into a Brig, not fun. He walks, he gets discorded, not fun. He walks, there's an Ashe, not fun. Or anti-nades, also very strong, even if you don't have a Brig. But definitely abuse the fact that they don't have defense matrix. They don't have the Sig shields, right? And just poke them. Zen will try to walk as well, and he'll get shot, and he'll be like, "Where's my off tank?" And the off tank will be like, "I'm getting shot. I don't have a shield," and then they die. That's kind of the TLDR. Without actually seeing how they're playing it and how we're playing it, that's what I would say.
Okay, works for me. We just went 6-man and inted on their backline. That's about it.
That also works, right? If we're talking about what Hog lacks that D.Va and Sigma have, well, okay, Hog lacks everything, not an off tank. Yes. He doesn't have peel, right? He can hook one person and then we DM them, right? And it's like, okay, that's all of his threat gone pretty much. So yeah, playing 6-man and inting on their backline also works. Like, oh no, I'm getting shot. DM me, bro. I'm on Hog. That doesn't work. That works too. I'm just not a fan of 6-man in general. I won't lie to you guys. I am personally biased against 6-man. Definitely has its place, but if I was running a team, I would not have them play 6-man ever. I don't like 6-man. You're
No,
giving
I'm
up.
just curious why.
You're giving up. You're playing Moira instead of Ana or Zen or Bap, and you're playing Lucio instead of Brig. So there's that. I also think with the lack of poke, if the other team plays properly, it can be really hard to get anything done. Even if they're not playing super well, right? If they just go Pharah, that's suddenly a very difficult matchup for you. Doable, winnable, absolutely, but super difficult. And so I would rather just play, if it's a Winston map, I like Winston Ana. I think that's really underrated right now. Especially on maps where you can cheat and get a Zarya in there. I think Double Bubble is super strong. Really slept on. And then ball comp. Ball comp is extremely broken. Try to int on the Brig Zen, and then you get slammed and DM'd, and you can't stage because you're getting poked by a Zen and a Tracer. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I was just curious.
Anybody else?
Nope, sounds good.